My spouse is in a nursing home and I need help paying for care. What will I have to live on if my spouse gets Medicaid?
Well, to answer that question, we're going to have to go back to the 1980s and early 90s when the Spousal Impoverishment Act was passed. That's a federal regulation, and it went into effect because what was happening already back then is that in order for a person to receive some assistance to pay for what back then was a staggering nursing home cost, just like it is today, the requirements were that the community spouse had to liquidate virtually all the assets in the marital estate, and oftentimes it was the husband that goes into the nursing home first. It's just the way things are with males and females. The husband going into the nursing home first, and the wife being the community spouse. Well, through the years, and again, this is just the way things have worked out in our society, but most of the time the husband was the primary wage earner, and so the pension was in the husband's name, the Social Security for the husband was higher, and so a lot of the income was coming to the husband and was being used to pay for the husband's cost of care, leaving the wife with very, very little to live on at home. So the Spousal Impoverishment Act was put into place to change that. Now I'm going to roll forward from the 80s and 90s to current day. The concepts embedded in the law are still the same. The way that it is being implemented now is that the community spouse, that is the well spouse, the spouse living at home, has what we call a minimum maintenance monthly needs allowance. And the short version of that is MIMNA. It sounds like you're mumbling, but there is an acronym there, and it's the monthly allowance that the community spouse is entitled to in terms of income to live on. Here in Wisconsin, currently it's about $2,600 a month. What that means is that if the community spouse, the at-home spouse, does not have in his or her own right $2,600 plus or minus per month, and that would be income from his or her Social Security, his or her pension, required minimum distributions from an IRA, those kinds of things, interest, dividends. If that income is not up to the $2,600 per month, and if the other spouse, the nursing home spouse, has income that's coming to him or her, again, the Social Security or pension, etc., then the community spouse can have allocated to him or her whatever amounts of the income that comes to the nursing home spouse as necessary to get that income for the community spouse up to $2,600. It's a little bit more than that, but for right now, $2,600 is close enough. So the answer then is that the community spouse will have either all of the income of both of them, and that would be the case if their combined monthly income is less than $2,600. Or the community spouse will have a combination of income from his or her own Social Security, pension, etc., plus whatever it takes from the nursing home spouse's income to get it up to $2,600. So the community spouse in that situation is going to have a minimum of that $2,600 a month. Or The other answer is if the community spouse's income is more than $2,600 a month, if they have Social Security and pensions, other income that's more than $2,600 a month, then the community spouse gets to keep all of his or her income. The community spouse does not have to provide any of his or her income to pay for the cost of care for the nursing home spouse, and therefore can keep all of his or her income. So it depends upon how much income is coming into the household, but the summary is that if you're the community spouse, on the low end, you get to keep all of the income, so your income doesn't change any, your lifestyle doesn't change any in that regard. Or if you need income to get up to the $2,600, you'll have at least $2,600 a month, or in the other possibility, you'll have all of your income, but your nursing home spouse's income would have to be used to pay for his or her care.